well, isn't worship all about God?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting. I mean, if I can tell you an analogy that from Belfast, where I'm from, which might start to address this question. It was said, during the Troubles, the British Army would come over to Belfast, and they would try to keep the peace. They would be, dispersed throughout all the various places in Northern Ireland, and it was said that there was always there was this little base in 5 Mile Town, and when a new battalion would come, the officer would say to the soldiers, because there was nothing to do, let me show you how dumb the Irish are. Tonight, let's all go down to the pub, and I'll play a trick on them. So the soldiers all went down to the pub, and sure enough, the officer looks around the bar for the oldest, drunkest Irish guy in the bar. Looks around, there's so many drunk Irish guys, hard to find, but they find Seamus. See Seamus at the end of the bar, and he goes, right, that's the one. He takes out a shiny £1 coin, puts it on the table. He takes out a crumpled £5 note, and he puts it on the table. And he says, Seamus, come here. He says, what would you prefer to have? Would you rather have this £1 coin, the shiny coin, or this old crumpled note? Seamus looks and he bites into the coin and he holds it up and he says, Mister, I'd love the shiny coin. And the British soldiers, oh, go ahead, take it. And they all have a laugh. The British soldiers find this hilarious. So they play this game with the Irish guys all night. Now there happens to be this American girl there in the bar. She's looking for her ancestors or something. And whenever the British soldiers leave, she goes up to the Irish guys and goes, do you not know that this £5 note is worth 5 times more than the £1 coin? And Seamus turns around and says, of course we do, love, but if we took the £5 note, they'd stop playing the game. Right? Now, I love that story because for me that's an analogy for church, is that we are all playing a game that none of us really believe in. And what I mean by that is this. Worship leaders and pastors all have their doubts, their uncertainties and their unknowing. They all express that behind closed doors. I know lots of these worship leaders, they do. But then when they get up and they start strumming their guitar, it's all certainty, it's all triumphalism, it's all we have the truth and you don't, and it's all, that. And also the people in the congregation, they have their doubts, they have their unknowing, but they hide it as well and they pretend that they've got certainty. We all participate in this game and God becomes nothing but this feel-good thing. So whenever we say it's all about God, God is nothing but a feel-good, like candy floss. It's helping us escape our anxieties, helping us escape our doubts, helping us escape the experience of Christ on the cross, who says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Helping us avoid the experience of Ecclesiastes, meaningless, says the teacher, all is meaningless. Helping us escape the experience of Job, helping us avoid the experience of mystery, of loss, of uncertainty, of ambiguity, of doubt, of all the things that you find in the Psalms. All the things that you find in the Psalms. God becomes the way of protecting us. And what I'm interested in, I have no time now for sitting with a worship leader, having a drink and then going, yeah, I have these doubts and uncertainties and sometimes I question God, sometimes I don't know if God exists. And I suppose that's been good, that's been a maturing process for me and it's very good. I have no time for that unless they express that in their music. And you know what? It's terrifying for them because they might lose their jobs. So what? Man up or woman up. I don't want to be sexy. Whatever. Get out there and do it. Now, to be honest, if you've got kids, you've got someone, a husband or a wife you're trying to support, I can understand why they're fearful. But we need worship leaders who will say, I'm going to express a dark night of the soul in my worship music. Because it's part of Christianity. Not only is it part of Christianity, it might actually be the heart of Christianity, because the cross is the heart of Christianity. Who will say, I will create liturgies of unknowing. I will be angry with God in music. I will be confused. I will write prayers of unknowing. Now the danger is this. They know implicitly that if they do that, a healthy congregation will enter into that, will be able to experience their own doubts and ambiguities and uncertainties and work through them. But an unhealthy congregation will freak out. Will freak out. It's like the minister who everyone doubts, but as soon as the minister says, oh, I have my doubts, the congregation go crazy because now they're confronted with their own uncertainties and they get rid of the pastor. So the same thing will happen with the worship bands. As soon as the worship band starts expressing that in an unhealthy environment, some people will say, get rid of that worship band. We want the happy clappy. We want the musical. We want God as the candy floss again. We want champagne and chocolate cake for communion. I don't want bread and wine. I want champagne and chocolate cake. Give me champagne and chocolate cake. We need brave women and men who will write gutsy, strong, dynamic worship songs.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your time.
Thanks very much. Thank you.